Grumble, grumble. Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am coming back at you with some more coverage of Roll to Move 2022, Flying Frogs, mostly Shadows of Brimstone related online convention. So I had the opportunity to attend both a virtual playthrough yesterday and the introduction Facebook stream, and pulled out some juicy information from both, and so I figured I'd hop on here and share it with you. So the first thing I did was I participated in a Gates of Valhalla preview playthrough, led by Jason Hill, who is the designer of the game. Very cool to get to interact with such an august personality. And we played through the introductory mission of the campaign from that box set on quite possibly the worst digital video setup I've ever seen in my life. I love the Flying Frogs. I love this convention. I love the time and energy they're putting into it. But holy crap, do they need help with some of the logistics, because the video quality was hilariously bad to the point where, it was hard to even do anything like read cards or see exactly where your character was on screen. So that was a little bit disappointing. I don't know of a way to do it better, as particularly live. Obviously, I capture a lot of video for the channel, and it's usually pretty high quality, but I've never tried to actually stream it live, much less with other people on the stream as well. So it may be technically daunting, but I find it hard to believe that it couldn't be overcome by, like a gig internet connection and some serious hardware in terms of cameras and lighting and whatnot. And, I get it. This isn't their job to stream this stuff, but at the same time, you want to put your best foot forward, and doing so when you're kind of hampered by the technology is a lot more difficult. So, but beyond that, fun was had. I had a fun little interlude where my Jarl, I was playing as the Jarl, spent 5 of his rage that he had acquired, which is a new mechanic for the Vikings, to roll 4 combat dice against a troll. And the trolls are very tough, very difficult to hit. You kind of have to get crits to get through to them, and they regenerate and all this crazy stuff. But I smashed this guy. I did 9 damage to him on a single hit because I rolled 3 crits. So 3 out of 4 on a D8 too, because I had the Jarl's got a big axe that lets you roll D8s to hit instead of D6s. So that was pretty awesome. I basically single-handedly annihilated that troll. But overall, it was fun. It was a fun group to play with. And despite the damn near crippling technical barriers, fun time was had by all, I think. All right, the next event that I had an opportunity to attend was the Livestream Kickoff. So this was on Facebook. This wasn't actually, to my knowledge, unique to attendees of Roll to Move 2020. You didn't have to have a badge to hop onto this. But they talked at length about the kind of upcoming products and what's going to be coming in the sale for Roll to Move 2020, which is already live. And they started off by, I think, by calling me out because of my conflation of Roll to Move and Dice Fest. They said something to the effect of, "We're seeing a couple of people in a video saying that Dice Fest is dead and this is all online going forward," and no, it's not. And so that was kind of funny. Although I went back and I looked at their previous online conventions, and they were also called Dice Fest. So there is definitely some conflation going on even on their own end. As far as I know, this is the first year that they actually like rebranded this thing as different than Dice Fest. But again, I don't spend all day researching this stuff. I wish I did. It would be more fun than, doing my job. But that was kind of funny. But one thing that came out of that discussion was that they announced that they are going to be holding an actual in-person Dice Fest. It's going to be October 14th through the 16th. These dates are not set in stone yet, but this is what they're anticipating. At the Bellevue Hilton in Washington, in the greater Seattle area, in Bellevue. So this is really exciting because, and they pointed this out on the stream as well, the event is being held at the same place where people can stay for the night. So that would make it a lot easier to just go down, poke into something, pop back to your room, have lunch, get trashed, stumble downstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning and see if there's anybody still playing games. And so this is really exciting to me, and I am going to try my damnedest to actually go this year. I've been trying to go for years, and I even have friends in Seattle that I could meet up with, and I still haven't been able to motivate myself to go. So this year I'm really going to try to go. As soon as they confirm those dates, I'm going to book a room and flights to Dice Fest 2022. So that was really exciting that they actually formally announced that. Then they went into basically an update on where they're at with products coming for Shadows of Brimstone. And they listed out a ton of stuff. So, first of all, they've got a couple of reprints of older content that is very hard to find that are coming. They're going to be reprinting the Masters of the Void Deluxe enemy set, as well as the Custodians of Targa enemy set. So those are very old, like from the original Kickstarter, and haven't been widely available in retail for years. So if you ever wanted to get your hands on one of those from the Old West sets, you will have an opportunity soon. They kind of went into dates, but they were a little unsure of when some of this stuff was going to start showing up because of the shipping and whatnot. So I don't want to put dates on it, just to say coming soon. Then they went into breaking down a number of sets from the Kickstarter for Forbidden Fortress that are going to finally be coming to retail. And I'm actually pretty excited about this because I got the Sumo pledge for Forbidden Fortress, but I didn't get the full Shogun pledge. So I'm missing most of this stuff. So first of all, they're going to have the Court of the Fallen Shogun Deluxe Enemy Pack, which looks really cool. It's got these guys with hats. They look like the three storms from Big Trouble in Little China, which I just watched with my 7-year-old son, and he accepted it. I don't know that he enjoyed it all that much, but he laughed. We had some good laughs. Good old Jack Burton stumbling around trying to be the hero. So that was fun, and this looks like a really fun set, and I will definitely be getting it. Feudal Japan Ally set is coming. Again, no-brainer. We'll totally buy that. Even though I haven't used the Ally set that I have for the Old West all that much yet. This one allows you to become allies with a monkey, so must buy. And let's see what else. Shoryu, the Dragon King. This is really cool. I've seen people asking for this for years in every one of these streams that I've attended, basically. When are you going to put Shoryu out? Did we miss it? Was it Kickstarter only? Nope, it's coming to retail. It's massive. I think I might even film a video of myself putting it together. I've assembled the head, but I didn't get around to the rest of it. So I'm going to be putting up some videos of me just like working my way through my Brimstone collection and trying to get stuff at least built, because I really need to do that. I have an insane amount of Brimstone stuff that is still in shrink. I mean, like $500 worth. Dozens of packages. And I have got to start getting those built and get back to playing Brimstone, because it is quite possibly my all-time favorite board game. Let's see, the Anomoraki Carrion Phoenix Deluxe Enemy Pack is coming as well, which looks really cool. It's exactly what it sounds like. It has a giant dead fiery phoenix and also these incredible like burning skeleton kind of minion miniatures that just look so awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then they're putting out the cannon. The Takobake cannon is coming to retail. I believe that this is the first one of their cannon sets that actually came to retail, because they had a cannon set for the Army of the Dead. Basically, it was like a Mexican Confederate era army from like the Alamo, and the undead version of them, the skeletal version of them. And they had a cannon that they sold, but only on the website and never in retail. This Takobake cannon is actually coming to retail, so you'll be able to get it theoretically at places like Miniature Market, which is really cool, and I'll definitely be buying one of those. Let's see. In addition, they're going to be putting out two of the sets that are currently exclusive to their website, the Scafford Highwaymen and the Coffin Breakers. Those are going to also be coming to retail this year. The Highwaymen look cool. They're mutated dudes in dusters that are part of the Scafford gang. They kind of ride up on people and steal all their goods and such. And the Coffin Breakers look really cool because they're literally skeletons that have broken out of their coffins, and some of them are like carrying shields that are made from the door, if you want to call it that, of the coffin. So those sets both look cool, and I'll definitely probably be picking both of those up. They went on to detail the goodie box next, the exclusive set that you can only get during Roll to Move 2020. It basically comes with a really cool miniature, which is a new henchman ally for the Blasted Wastes. And he's got basically two different setups where you can either equip him with, like a blaster or a really cool looking fist weapon. And he'll serve as just another variation on an ally that you can recruit with his own, special abilities and such. So looks really cool, and it's cool that the miniature in this case is tied to gameplay. If I remember correctly, in the previous releases that were associated to Dice Fest specifically, it was typically like a veteran version of a character you already had. So it didn't come with any cards or anything, and it didn't alter gameplay. It was just like a different looking miniature, like a gussied up miniature. So this is cool that the mini is actually gameplay related, and I imagine it'll be something of a collector's piece going forward. They showed the coasters as well. You might have seen, and I'll throw an image up right now of the goodie box, and it comes with a set of 4 coasters that are Shadows of Brimstone themed. And while they're not what I was hoping / dreaming for, which would have been something, I don't know, a wooden coaster set would have been incredible. I would have gladly paid $50 for the box if it included that. But even just like like a corkboard set or something, I know these looked like they were more like paper, but he did speak at length. It was funny. Justin spoke at length about how they had to make the trade-off between kind of the vibrancy of the color or the absorbance of the coaster, and they decided to get the absorby coaster. So it's nice and thick and absorbent, and I'm happy to have them because I'm happy to have kind of anything related to Shadows of Brimstone. There's also a keychain included, a Forbidden Fortress keychain. Looks very cool. And then there's a bunch of cards, a bunch of promo cards that are only available in this set, and I'll try to throw some images up of those as well. Bear in mind, the images that I'm sharing are all from the live stream, so again, the picture quality is bleh, but at least you can see what they do. And then they announced that they're putting out 2 new card sets with this sale. So the first set is called The Nightmares from Beyond. And it is the first of the Ruinous Nightmares packs that they have coming. It says, "There are things in the dark places of the world that are best left unseen by the prying eyes of men. Some horrors that cannot be fathomed. These are the nightmares from beyond that haunt the deepest shadows and feed on the fragile minds of those foolish enough to seek them out." This 15-card challenge supplement adds an all-new deck of Ruinous Nightmares, allowing players to increase the difficulty of the adventure. I don't know why the hell you would want to do that. Choose from Nightmare level 1, 2, or 3 to give your heroes a serious run for their money. There are some extra rewards, there you go, for exploring the more dangerous parts of the world, though, and heroes may find that if they can overcome the challenge, glory and riches await. But be warned, Ruinous Nightmares are not for the faint of heart. You have been warned. Yes, you just said that. So this is really cool. You know what this reminds me of is Diablo 3, actually. It's like the difficulty levels in something like Diablo, where you're going into, literally into, Nightmare 3 or whatever they would call it. And increasing the difficulty, increasing the rewards. So it's a really cool set. I definitely picked it up because it is completely different from kind of anything else that I've seen. I'm curious to see what all is in here. I will throw up a couple of images of some of the cards. So, for instance, we've got here Reality Warp. So it says, "Time and space twist and bend here. It takes all of your focus just to stand. Whenever a hero uses an ability token, they must spend an extra ability token or the effect is cancelled. If using multiple at a time, this will effectively double the cost. If a hero does not have any ability tokens, they are -1 on their defense rolls instead." Ouch. So that's pretty brutal. There's another one here called the Void Nullify. The inner glow of your dark stone seems to flicker and fade as you look on in disbelief. Something nearby seems to be draining its energy. Items with a dark stone icon may not be used, including items with upgrades that have a dark stone icon attached. This is absolutely brutal. I don't have a sense of how these cards come out. They may have mentioned it during the live stream, but I had my kids running around and screaming in my face, and it was hard to always stay completely dialed in. But that's an awesome card that could really mess you up, especially if it came out. Surely these don't come out during gameplay. It must be you pick a random one at the start of a mission. But even that could radically change, the way you approach something. And these kinds of cards are just perfect for something like the kind of creating your own adventures, in terms of you could take one of their current adventures, which are pretty disappointing, to be honest, most of the time. They're kind of boilerplate, especially the first set of 6 missions that comes with each box set are all the same, exactly the same, basically. This would actually allow you to mix them up and make them pretty interesting. You could just say, okay, so when I play one of these, I'm going to play Nightmare Mode. And you pull one Nightmare card and apply its effect to that game. So there's some really cool potential kind of modification to games that you can do with this, and I also imagine that these could be really cool and almost give you kind of a framework for building a hex crawl campaign around. I've talked about hex crawl in the past. It's the kind of non-linear campaign system with a map where you're going from mission to mission and trying to kind of ultimately, complete your quest depending on which type of hex crawl you chose. And these could be very cool for setting that up. You could simply, draw 3 of them at the beginning of the campaign and apply them all, or you could apply one every time you enter a new dungeon or a new mission. And so lots of opportunity for potential fun with these cards. And then the other set that they announced and have now released is the Heroic Defenders game supplement. This is the first of the Heroic Efforts pack. Heroic Efforts pack number 1. I just hope that they actually end up having more than one, because that's a bit misleading if not. But what do we got here? It says, though the night is dark and full of terrors. Okay, so copyright. But let's move on from that. There are some brave enough to stand against the darkness. Heroic defenders that won't sit idly by and watch their world fall to ruin. When the stakes are highest and the chips are down, these heroes find a way to dig a little deeper and press on through the horrors arrayed before them. This 15-card supplement adds an all-new deck of heroic effort cards to help give heroes a fighting chance for survival when the odds are stacked against them. Useful for low-level heroes or hero parties of only 1 or 2 heroes, or to help out new heroes who join an existing party. Heroic efforts are one-use special ability cards that give heroes a boost with a fun story moment when they need it the most. So these sound even more like they would just be perfect fodder for the Hexcrawl system. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that on the Flying Frog web store, they are also doing a Ding and Dent sale. I got a copy of the Feudal Japan Village set, which I had not yet picked up, for $36, which is a pretty great price. So I'm very excited about that. I also bought one of their dope ass looking trucker hats. Can't wait to roll that on stream sometime. And a bunch of card packs and such, because they're also doing their buy 2 get 1 free card supplement sale. I highly encourage people, if you like Shadows of Brimstone, especially if you love Shadows of Brimstone, indulge in this stuff, man, because this is the kind of support that people dreamed of getting out of Warhammer Quest back in the mid 90s, and it just never materialized. And it's, who knows when this beautiful Shadows of Brimstone gravy train is going to end. So if you really, really love this system and you want to be playing this for the rest of your life, like I kind of do, don't hesitate to buy those card packs, because they really do build out the various expansions, and some of them are just like the ones we talked about today, really impactful. It can totally radically change gameplay. So very cool stuff. But that's basically all that I had. I had a great time. It was fun being on the live stream and actually interacting with people, talking trash and commiserating with people about the thousands of dollars we spent on Shadows of Brimstone. Good times. And so I'm looking forward to more. And I will follow up with a day 2, or possibly just a day 2 and 3 update. We'll see, depending on the number of events I actually make it to. And other than that, let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments, and I will talk to you later.